How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual... Welcome to BioMutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Mercenary. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Mercenary. Mercenary chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you,
Better half.
the best end.
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. this is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. Goodbye. Farewell, fool. King! That's an odd thing, don't you think? The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Carving it up. emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. Ah, that's better. Snazzy Hatter? That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Slash. Got one. Hold on to that. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Now that's a flesh wound. Wow! Close encounter. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Wonder what you could make with that.
Poyuput pai katawa uluaba yuba tolo mao toliawa yuba tolo tolua lu tolo lua tolu tonga kozata ghetto.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember.
Nuka nuburak lua tolu tonga.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma.
Nuka nuburak tikamapen.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your
Ya moluwando yatu yao mawa.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the...
Falu alu hero.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Kabobe farhi ya moluwando.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Mooma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you... The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Mad? The Nono prefer to hunt. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will You'll need to support the... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings. You handle that net like you've never done any... He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 2012... One day... But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the... Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the one. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here. He lost you there for a while. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after his friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eater. He wants you to understand that you'll... His friends have prepared... Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He worries he doesn't know what your connection is to this place. Anyway, he needs help and set...
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Oh, take it out.
There's always...
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important.
Quieto correb cosata loma utulu ba empaso tombupo bucoye.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Bubuko papamorphobak yamolorovano.
He believes the tribe Sifu's, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Kutuvun poputore to why.
He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. The Myriad would...
Atu awa ya ea kutuvun poputore. Udeno kun unyofobo.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the... Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? Your key energy isn't up for that. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Smirked. Made it count. Right in the face. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tri-war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war.
But I kill realize.
Says the Sifu gets to choose who sees the Sifu, but he'll let you give it a try.
Zata is the muy totloho. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you have in common. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense your... Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. The Sifu says it's time to set the past. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribe. He had a feeling. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll... Then... And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Myriad Stone Fort before word gets out that you've chosen not to side with them. It was built on the back of many, including us, and claimed by... It's time to say goodbye for now. And if it's not the kind of goodbye that lasts forever... Right way to change altitude. Shot. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says their door is always open for anyone.
Sibi? Lapanen aginkanman. Gerat na falo putut mus. Tugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has proceeded. The wall that separates them from the other side? The wasteland you came... He's convinced you've returned for... There's something about your spirit. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. Your Muma invented one. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will bring it to you. When survival is threatened, he wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. You were all part of the same tribe once. Seeing you brings back his Myriad wants unity between the tribes. He remembers your kind. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way. You have things to do. Places to go to.
Hello?
Seems surprised. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Cutting edge. Sharp steel. Flash the slash. All that exercise helps. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get... He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Way to go. Don't let the sound of the waves drown out your spirit. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up for lost time. You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the end, too. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. You're not in this world to live up to his expectations, but he hopes It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. That's all she's ever... You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for... There's no way they'll let... He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets pushed down along... She asks if you're hurt. What happened? The most important. It's time to focus on your training now. You won't need excuse. Just someone close to heart, doing what he does best? Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Sedain Yakidlo. Why adfuno sirka fulafin de horse Kidlo.
He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training.
Ja.
He wishes that was true for your Moomer too, but guiding the village into the future, he suggests...
Mustakabala no kuntunash.
He's curious to see what you found.
Diava.
He says
Mishako her mich.
he can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle.
Yamafore schon.
He says it...
Chine. Son.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Karuta. Uya Arignomo. Karuta. Uya Arignomo.
You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Badayan analove. Must munteo mastula.
Turi kumbala muma.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Sadurutu. Monibasa. Kanyala no toro.
She says she is eager to get started,
Ruemu tono. Katya dopoluta.
but there's enough time left for repetition and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Taifanana no yo no massa manburut. Taifanana no ma.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Masama.
Thanks you for being such...
Yo no massa manburut. Andro? Bendrine senema. Kanamunt.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Bend nampusa.
That's why you should be sure to thank... Catchy.
Ora sadurut.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Ora sadurut.
Figuring that out,
Inyavaldo turi kumba sadurutu.
it's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Rizentere.
Says it's not a record keeper, more like a...
Kanoruta.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Kala.
Everything... Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow.